Are you thinking about laying some cold hard cash down for the JBL Authentics 300? Well, I have a full review with my thoughts on this thing, so feel free to sit down, take a listen, or skip along to the chapters that you're interested in. So this is the first speaker I've gotten in from the JBL Authentics series, and it's kind of a big deal because these are a direct competitor to the Marshall Homeline speakers and other premium brands like Bang & Olufsen and Vifa, except JBL is coming in hard to make a premium speaker, and they're also incorporating Wi-Fi technology. So basically, they're bringing in a lot of stuff that the other speakers have been lacking in technology, so that's why this one's kind of a big deal. It's bringing everything the other guys are bringing, but with a little pumped in technology to differentiate it. I gotta tell you, one of the first things that came to mind when I got this speaker was it's heavy. It's actually very heavy, especially when you hold it with your thumbs like this. But it is heavy and premium feeling, which is kind of a good thing. All right, let's talk build quality. This thing is phenomenally built. I would put it right up there with the Marshall speakers or any premium speaker brand. It's got this kind of pleather material. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'm assuming it's a type of pleather. And it's got a gold aluminum grill or grill accent here. It says Authentic Sound by JBL since 1946. So definitely some nice heritage stuff going on there. It is a heavy boy. I don't even know how heavy this is, but it feels just as heavy as the Tufton. You don't want to lug this around for very long. On the back here, you kind of have this plasticky surface, slight rubber feel to it. It doesn't feel like it's not premium or anything. On the back here, you actually have your microphone on-off port. So you can just turn it on, or that was off, and back to on. Gives you a little bit of a noise there. And then you've got your ports down here. So you've got Ethernet, which is nice. You've got USB, you've got 3.5 here. And then this is actually the same, I forget what this power type of cable is called, but it's the same type that the Marshalls use, actually. The transformer is built inside the box, so you don't need an external transformer, you just need that cable. The crazy thing about this, though, check this out. Oh, there's your bass. There's your woof woof on there, all the way down at the bottom. The thing is huge, and kind of the big thing this speaker will do, because this is on the bottom, it's going to shake your table. It's going to shake it a lot. What if you had like a pin under here or something you weren't anticipating being underneath there, and you stuck this on top of it? You could potentially damage that. Now it does have some high feet here to kind of help with that, but just something to keep in mind. As far as the buttons and stuff go, I do like the light up features. So I can't play this music, so I'm going to keep it low. But if you turn this up, you have about 20 increments of volume adjustment here. And then also, this little line here tells you that the speaker is on and activated, and when you plug it in, this tells you the battery level. The battery can last, they are assuming or saying that it can last about 8 hours. It takes about 3.5 hours to charge it. You've got your Bluetooth connection button there, and then you've got your power button, and this little heart button, which took me forever to figure out what the heck it is, and I still don't know if I fully understand it. But it's basically called their moment button, and you can customize it to do custom things on your speaker. So what I did was I set it up to automatically play Run by Future Island. So if I push this, it should switch it. And I think it even should set the volume. But I've had limited success with this. So we'll move on. I'm not totally sold on that. You've got your nice little bass and treble things here. Again, you have the nice lights. They seem to have a few less increments than the volume control. But honestly, I usually just keep these middle of the road for both of these. I don't feel like it affects the equalizer that much. You also have the app equalizer to do this with. One other thing that's kind of curious that they didn't include on this thing is you see this play button here. So you press play to play, but if you want to fast forward, you have to press this twice. And if you want to rewind, you have to press this 3 times to rewind. I don't know why they couldn't have just put a fast forward or a rewind knob on here, or made this knob so that you could actuate it back and forth or something. Seems like they didn't quite know how to cram in all the buttons on here, and they had plenty of real estate to do it though. The only other thing you'll notice on here, I just turned off the microphone, and you'll see that little red light that lets you know the microphone's off. And as soon as I turn it off, it goes off. That's also where your assistants will be. So your Amazon Echo devices will be here, and also your Google Assistant. So yeah. Also, just look at this grill. It is a nice grill. Let me get that in the light for you. I was thinking it was going to be like foam, because when you look at the pictures of their older stuff, like the L100, they kind of have this foam look, and not that I've ever touched them before, but I was kind of thinking it was going to be ultra frail. This doesn't feel as frail. It's kind of got has a cardboard consistency underneath. It doesn't feel like it's the strongest thing in the world, but it's a little more sturdy than what it looks like just in pictures. Overall, this is an exceptionally built speaker, and just look at the handle. If you know anything about me, you know that I really care about handles, and the handles need to be of superior quality to show that they care about the rest of the internals and the things that other people aren't paying attention to. But this handle is phenomenal. I would say it's actually better than the Marshall handles because it's like an all aluminum device here. Another thing you guys have been asking about is how loud is this speaker? Well, I did do a test and try to dive a little bit deeper into actually how loud this is, and I can tell you, did come out to be the loudest speaker of all of them, especially with the mains power. So you're wondering how loud the JBL 300 is when it's plugged in versus unplugged, and just how loud it is in general. Well, it turns out when it's plugged in, it's actually around 108 decibels, and it's 6 decibels quieter when unplugged. The Acton was at 100 decibels, and the Tufton was around 91, 92 dBA. So interestingly enough, even though this technically has the loudest sound out of all these on this test, to my ear, subjectively, I still felt like the loudness varied to me. You're listening to the Acton at 40 Hertz. For the bass, it's about 76, 72-ish dBA. The JBL, that's it at 40 Hertz. It definitely has a much throatier sounding bass. The Tufton has almost like a ghosting noise to it. It's about 70 to 77. So all the volumes are the same, but you can tell that each speaker sounds very different at 40 Hertz. They just have different characteristics. So one of the great things about the JBL 300 and the rest of the lineup is you do have access to Wi-Fi. That's going to allow you not only to have a multi-home streaming system that actually probably works, but it's also going to allow you potentially to listen to higher quality audio. However, when I tried to hook up Amazon Music and Tidal Music to the JBL One app, it didn't really give me a really good experience. When I tried to listen to Amazon Music, I couldn't tell whether I was listening to high quality music or not, and I could not find a setting that allowed me to increase the music to either HD or Dolby Atmos or whatever setting they have. And when I use Tidal, the Tidal app just doesn't even work. I would press play on the music and it wouldn't play. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Your app sucks. It doesn't work. So I'd say if you're gonna get this thing to listen to high quality audio on Wi-Fi, it's kind of a risk. You're gonna be waiting on them to update the apps to potentially improve, but it seems like that part isn't figured out. All right, so I'm using the EQ. I can't play the music for you, but one of the things I noticed is that while the equalizer in the app allows you to adjust things, it doesn't always want to tie in with the treble and the bass on top here. Sometimes it just doesn't really keep up. That it just did it then. It's definitely kind of a delay. It's not super fast. The only part that seems like it works really well is talking to both devices at the same time. For example, I can ask, Alexa, play music by Future Islands.
Amazon Music is streaming on another device. What do you want me to play?
I just want you to play Future Islands on this speaker alone.
Amazon Music is streaming on another device. Would you like to stream from here instead?
Yes.
Here's some music by Future Islands on Amazon Music.
Okay, so there's Future Islands playing. Okay, Google, stop playing music.
Nothing's playing right now.
So Google doesn't actually know that Alexa's playing on here, so it can get a little confusing. But overall, I have found that talking to both assistants is a pretty seamless process, aside from a few hiccups here and there. In terms of Bluetooth codecs, it does have Bluetooth 5.3, but you're also still limited, at least to the best of my knowledge, to the SBC codec, which is about MP3 player quality. The only thing I forgot to add is that this actually, via the app and with Google, can hook up to your Chromecast. So just like you would cast to a TV, you can actually cast the audio from like a YouTube that you're looking at the computer direct through this speaker. No wire required. So that is kind of awesome. So the possibilities are limitless with this. It just seems like the technology is not quite there. All right, so I've got all the speakers here that I feel like are a reasonable competition for a premium speaker like the JBL 300. So let's take a listen to my song and see how she does. She does good. terms of sound compared to the rest of them, they all have a little bit of different character. I'd say that the Acton has a little bit more presence in the vocals as well as the Tufton. But honestly, comparing this to like the Stanmore, I feel like they're kind of an equal value. The Stanmore obviously is only mains power versus portable, but you've got to ask yourself, is it worth the 80 more, maybe not 80 more bucks, but like 80-ish more dollars to get this versus that one just because it's portable and it has the Wi-Fi? Like that's really what you're paying for. Like sound quality wise, I'd say they're really on par. They're both incredible speakers, and it might just come down to like which look you prefer. So big picture, I think JBL did knock it out of the park. I just think their price is a little high. If it was cheaper, I think it would be worth it a little bit more. It's really expensive to get into this price range. We'll see. Maybe when I review the 200 series, we'll see if maybe that's a better value. I think Marshall kind of has them built on value, which is strange to think because I also think that Marshall speakers are way overpriced. Maybe it's just inflation, and I don't want to pay any more money for these speakers because they're expensive. But regardless, yeah, I am really impressed with this speaker. I think it's going to become a very relevant speaker on the market. I just think it's expensive. It's also JBL's first foray into this market of like high-end home speakers. But they are doing a lot of things right, and it's a pretty impressive first go for it. So way to go, JBL. You've made something that we all want, and we just don't want to pay an exorbitant amount of money for it because nobody can afford anything because of inflation. By the way, if you like what I'm doing, you should probably subscribe or just leave a comment below and just let me know because it fuels my soul. So that's all I've got for you. Now you have a little more info to make a purchase decision for yourself. I tried to include a few more things and do things a little bit differently this round just to like give you more information. So let me know if that was helpful. Like I tried to do the volume test. I did a walk around for the build construction of the speaker. I just tried to include a little bit more. So hopefully that was a step in the right direction. But if not, just tell me I suck or something in the comment. Don't say I suck. Just don't say anything, I guess. Anyways. All right. Well, thank you for watching. You get a JBL star today. Beep. To you. So goodbye.